The Blitz, high school football from the field to your screen. Sponsored by Mocse Credit Union and KW Recovery Lab.
Welcome to The Blitz. I'm Frankie Tovar.
I'm Angelina Martin.
And it's week 11 of the Blitz season, so that means one thing. We're covering Harvest Bowl, and not just any Harvest Bowl, Harvest Bowl 15. Pitman High hosted the rival Turlock High in a game that had a lot of hype leading up to it.
The stakes were high, the CCAL championship was on the line, and I'm pretty sure all of Turlock was there. It was packed, it was crazy, and it was, of course, a lot of fun to cover.
When it was all said and done, Angie, Turlock High was the team that emerged victorious 33-0, and they did that with a well-balanced offensive attack, rushing and passing for a total of 390 yards, whereas Pitman struggled. They only gained 152 total yards.
Right, and if you don't know, this was the 5th Harvest Bowl in a row that Turlock High School has won, but Pitman still leads the series overall 8-7.
Yeah, and if you want to find out exactly how Turlock picked up the win, you'll find out right now with the Friday night highlights. We start with the 4th drive of the game, and the handoff goes to Freyas. Wait, no it doesn't. Kozakevich keeps it, lays a hard hit, and picks up 11. Here's Freyas now with a hard-earned 2-yard gain, and it sets up a dart of a pass to Cam Sherwood as Kozakevich rolls to his right and throws on the run. There's a nice block by Lucas Curtis right there, and Sherwood is off to the races for a 68-yard touchdown to put the Bulldogs up 7-0 with 5 minutes left in the first. But hey, even though it's early, we need to press rewind because this is
the play of the game.
That's right. Look at this. Curtis, man, Sherwood is aware. He gets that block and then a little feint just enough to make Bass hesitate. And that's it. What a great touchdown to start things off.
And Pitman looking to make their own play of the game. Quarterback Trayton Fair, he connects with Ricardo Aguilar. Nice little 11-yard gain right there. And on the next play, they give it to Jacob Partita, who runs up the middle for 4 yards. And on the next play, they try it again. But that D-line, those Bulldogs, they stuff them right up the middle, and that's a turnover on downs.
Turlock takes over and hands the ball to Lucas Curtis, who picks up a quick 5. Then Kozakevich finds Freyas, who makes a shoestring catch for another 5-yard gain. And I know it's hard to see because Everett Johnson's too tall, but Kozakevich lets loose for a 31-yard strike to Holden Baldwin, who comes down at the 12-yard line, where the quarterback decides to make a run for it. That's Kozakevich, and that's a 12-yard touchdown to extend Turlock's lead 14-0.
And the Bulldogs looking to extend that lead. Kozakevich goes to Cam Sherwood, but it's knocked down by Peyton Bass. There's a PI on that play. Sorry, Peyton. Kozakevich looking again, goes down the field to Miguel Pena. He catches it. He's going down the field. That's a 51-yard reception. Oh, but he fumbles it, but that's okay. The Bulldogs get it back. They're down on the 4-yard line, and who else does Kozakevich go to other than Cam Sherwood? Grabs it in the end zone, 21-0 with a minute left in the half for the Bulldogs.
And then Pitman, their next possession, they're forced to punt, and it's a short one. So with a second left on the clock, Christian Gardner lines up for a 43-yard field goal. It sails through the uprights to make it 24-0 at the half.
And Turlock with the ball in the second half. Kozakevich fumbles that snap, recovers it nicely. He's heading down the field. Looks like he's going to get a good gain here, almost a touchdown, but there's a flag on the field, holding on the play. Next play, he looks down the field. They recover from that, down to Holden Baldwin for a 31-yard reception. What a play. And next, he's going to go. Who's he looking at? Lucas Curtis, none other than the man, number 11. He's going to get a 22-yard gain on that one. Nice job by the Bulldogs offense there. But a nice play by the Pitman defense right here holds the Bulldogs. That's going to force another field goal. This one, a 23-yard field goal. That puts the Bulldogs up 27-0.
And 2 plays after the field goal, Trayton Fair has the ball and he's looking for a receiver, but instead he finds Casey Carr, who nabs the interception for Turlock. But Pitman is saying tit for tat on the next possession with an interception of its own. That's Joseph Vasquez with a great play, but Pitman is unable to capitalize. So we fast forward to the 4th quarter, and it's a 1-play touchdown drive as Anthony Freyas bounces his way towards a 55-yard touchdown to seal the deal for the Bulldogs. They win Harvest Bowl 15, 33-0. everybody. I hope you liked that highlight section. But before we move forward with the show and talk more about how the game went down, let's recognize our sponsors, Mocse Credit Union and KW Recovery Lab. All right, Angie, even though Halloween hasn't quite hit yet, people are still preparing for Christmas, myself included. I need to buy presents for my friends and family, but I need some Skrilla. I need a loan. Where should I go? Well,
Frankie, you should go to Mocse Credit Union, one of our amazing sponsors. If you need a car loan, a home loan, or a toy loan, visit their friendly staff on Gear Road, or even if you're a first-time lender, they'll take care of you. Mocse Credit Union, for all your loan needs. Now, Frankie, Christmas is fast approaching. The weather's getting colder. My joints are getting a little achy after I visit the gym. Where can I go?
You can go to KW Recovery Lab here in Turlock for injury prevention to get ahead of the game. They have everything you need: cryotherapy, ice baths. They have a Normatec lounge area. They have Hyperlace recovery products, and they have so much more. And if you're a high school athlete, buy one session, get the second one half off. So recover as hard as you train with KW Recovery Lab. So with that win, Turlock ends their first CCAL campaign with a perfect 5-0 record, and they're 7-3 overall. Now, a big part of that season campaign was the quarterback, Jonah Kozakevich. He also did well on Friday, gaining 31 yards on the ground and 272 yards through the air for a total of 3 touchdowns.
Now, if you look over to Pitman's offense, they did struggle a little bit. That's because that Turlock defense was on fire on Friday night. Jacob Partita, though, he finished with 115 total yards on the night. Trayton Fair, he was a little ineffective, more ineffective than we've seen him throughout the season. Throughout the season, he came into the game with 1,350 passing yards, and on Friday night, he was held to just 36 passing yards. So that tells you a little bit about that game.
And that's because that Turlock defense was putting big pressure on that Pitman offense. Jaden Jackson, Tamir Bullock, and Garrett Fountain were big parts of that defensive effort. But let's go back to the offense for Turlock, because there was one player that really shined bright. Cam Sherwood, the tight end, 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. So it's no surprise he's our KW Recovery Lab Impact Player of the Game.
Obviously, the emotions are running high with Harvest Bowl, but even more than that, we told the guys before the game, even though this is Harvest Bowl, we're playing for the first CCAL championship, and so, it just adds to it. But the seniors on the team were telling everybody, it's just another game. Go out, do your job. We're a very confident team, but we know to be confident, it takes a lot of hard work, film room, not only on the field, but just practice, hard practices every day, all week. Coaches are on us, so, we didn't come out expecting to dominate, but we came out expecting to, give it to them. Tonight was a team effort, man. The offense and defensive line, those guys, like people always say, they never get the credit, and that's one of the truest things I've ever heard, man. Those are some of the nastiest, just meanest dudes on the football field, but outside on the football field, they're just some of the nicest guys. So they're working hard. Jonah, obviously, he played a great game, and Lucas, he's battling, man. He's a tough kid, one of the toughest I know, man. Last season, after we lost, we always talked about, we want to be able to have that strength of schedule with us, to put us up in those seedings. And so, we had a tough preseason, and we played hard. We played some of the best teams around, and we competed in every game. And so, now playoffs, I think we're ready, and we're ready to get a home game for playoffs, definitely. KW, thank you for the certificate. I'm going to take Jaden Jackson. He's my little junior. I take care of him, man. I'm going to take him there.
Now, again, that was Turlock's 5th straight Harvest Bowl win, but it was also their 3rd straight league championship, and that, my friends, is a school record. Yeah,
that's a first for Turlock, and they've been around for a very long time, so very impressive. Kudos to James Peterson. Pitman on the flip side, they end the season 9-1. Their only loss to Turlock, that mirrored the 2016 season where they basically did the exact same thing. As far as the Harvest Bowl goes and the series and the records and all that goes, this is only the 3rd shutout in Harvest Bowl history, and the first one for Turlock. Pitman owns the other 2 shutouts, but this is by far the most dominant performance by any team in the Harvest Bowl series.
Definitely, it was impressive to watch.
Yeah, and now, even though Pitman lost, it's not over for them. The season is still going to continue. They're in the playoffs, as is Turlock. They will both be in the Division I playoff bracket. We don't know who they'll be playing just yet, but we will find out shortly. And in fact, we'll have a special episode on Monday, a special episode of The Blitz with Eddie Ruiz, where we will go over the entire playoff picture. We're talking Turlock, Pitman, Hillmar, and even Denair, because they also had a 9-1 season. They look spectacular. So we'll get to all that on Monday. I was going to say next week, but no, it's going to be on Monday.
It's going to be soon.
At turlockjournal.com. You can find all other supplemental content online on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Turlock Journal. So until next week, I'm Frankie Tovar.
I'm Angelina Martin.
Good night.